Okay. It is Saturday. Saturday, almost 3 p.m. Got my drawing tablet out. My motivation is wishy-washy because I want to play video games, but at the same time, I haven't drawn. I thought I was going to draw something yesterday, but I had a headache before, and then things were happening that caused me to not be home for most of the afternoon time that I wanted to do my tasks. I finished up all the tasks that I needed to do. Most of everything is done. Now I'm here. It's a chill hour, chill time. We'll just be drawing, hanging out. Very casual. And I have hiccups. Yeah. Nah. I don't have any plans to do anything with coloring, or I guess I haven't done colored art on stream too often unless it was specifically commissioned. So we're just gonna hang out. Sketch. Definitely have a few things I want to draw for VTubing. I have things I want to draw for people as a thank you, because my biggest goal was to get something up for my throne, get something from my throne, which was the bedside tables, and it is set to, I see that it's been purchased, surprised, thank you, and it will be arriving on Wednesday. So I'm excited. I'm very happy. Oh. I think one of the artwork I was trying to work on an artwork the other day where it was for tools and tech. Here's an old showcase of the artwork I did for tools and tech. My old iconic such and such. And then I tried to make a new one, which would be this one here. If I could put them side by side for a moment. It's a bit simple, but I feel like I could do something a little bit better. So, I don't know if I'll be working on this necessarily today, but I'll definitely be making some sketches for the little icon stickers in my About Me section, because I should update those. They are not updated at all. I have a to-do list of sorts, so I'll be functioning. And if I'm not talking, it's just more of a vibe kind of day. But yeah. Closing that, reclosing that. Getting the right pencils and colors. I also got to update to the newest Clip Studio Paint. So, yeah, I can now draw immediate circles. Ooh, circular. Or even just straight lines. With the option to edit them too. I do like this actually. I do really, really like what they done. Yeah. Alright. Let me get also my old references somewhere. I say my old references, my current references is what they are. Aside from that, I hope everyone is having a lovely Saturday. And for those that were hanging out in my Discord server, I hope y'all are okay, because we have a bit of too much fun, I think I could say. But I feel like there's no such thing as too much fun, maybe. But, yeah. It was a time. Right, this one wasn't here. Just looking for this one too. That's a lot smaller than I thought. I am the background noise for you, for a few others, whoever just happens to come and listen to me maybe babble on, and if I'm not babbling enough. Oh well. Let me just see if this is actually the right size. Import image from file, folder, February. Yeah, actually that is the right size. Cool. What was that? Oh. Okay, that's saved in a PNG for later. I'm not going to be using this one. And this is where I'm going to be working on. Hi, Wave. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I have to say as well, a verbal thank you again for the donations over the week. Oh my gosh. It was just a big surprise. And I cannot express enough thank you beyond... Words cannot comprehend enough, is what I'm trying to say. But just, just like... The biggest thank you, the biggest eyes, just a little like, come on. Very big thank you. Really fucked up doodle, but not the best. Not the best, not the worst. Up to the corner over there. Yeah, no. Today I'm gonna do some freehand sketching. Listening to JRPG-esque music. I had thought about a scene that I was talking with you earlier in text, Ocean, and it would be kind of fun to do because then I can break out. Let me see if I can get the right colors first. I got some zombie brushes. can have some fun with these. Yeah. Then I think I'll quickly start with making a few draft sketches for my About Me section. And I would have to then refer to my hubby later, who is a graphic designer, if he can help me design a new logo as well. The egg needs a bunch of new things. The egg needs to upgrade. Hi, Quack. I'm gonna be hydrating, but are you gonna be hydrating too? How are you feeling after waking up this morning? If at all did you wake up this morning? I would not blame you if you woke up later in the afternoon. You just woke up today? Well then, good morning to you. The girls are upset because you didn't wake up in time to feed them? Extra snacks. Always getting extra snacks is nice. Snacks and treats. I love getting also extra snacks and treats. My plan for today is to have a little bit of an art stream, very casual, nothing too serious, no deadlines per se. Um, got a little bit more confirmation about some furniture that'll be moving, so my availability is going to be a bit sporadic. I'll hang out whenever I can, but I'm definitely going to be dipping out of the VCs whenever I cannot. I think between tomorrow and Monday we should be getting a new bed frame for our bed. Wednesday will be bedside tables. Friday we'll be having guests over, and I need to move a lot of furniture up and down a lot. So I'm gonna be busy a little bit. But whenever I do have the time, down, up, or whatever, I'll be sure to come in and do an art stream here or there. Try to get some more art for myself. I need to also do some crochet. Tonight, I'm thinking of having a Monster Hunter party, in the sense of we're just gonna hang out and play Monster Hunter very, very casually. No obligations, no goals. Just come in and hunt if you can. If not, then don't hunt. Otherwise, what is your plans for today? If anybody feels like sharing their ideas and plans. I know that Riley earlier is at work, so, but of course you do get off of work, so maybe you'll be doing something else. I wish you the best of luck during your working of 4 hours, Riley. I believe in you. I believe you could survive this, because you have a bunch of gacha dailies to do, if I'm not mistaken. If you don't have your dailies to do soon, you gotta get prepared for whatever's the next one, I imagine. You're on the grind, sir. But no, I have full confidence that you will survive it. be opening a different tab that you guys can't see, but I'll be looking at various examples of like VTuber logos. Hi Yuzu, happy Saturday. I hope you're doing very, very well. I'm so used to seeing your first name being Yuzu and forgetting that you have a very ominous kind of name being Yuzu the Slumbering. But how are you, darling? Are you having an okay Saturday? Or is it already Sunday? I can never guess what time zone you're in, but you don't need to tell me if you don't feel comfortable, of course. I'm just working on little tiny sketches and little ideas for the About Me section, and overall just sketching for the relaxing sake of doing that. I need to sketch, I need to stretch my drawing brain a bit. I'm doing good. I'm very fine. I'm drinking water. I had a nice sandwich. I'm gonna be cooking steak for me and the hubby later. Yeah, just having a decent, very good weekend in general. I'm also trying to think of a new logo and or like something I can use as a logo for VTubing, and maybe what else? What is the right word I'm trying to find right now? The logo, branding thing, that kind of stuff. I want to try to see if I can figure out a nice idea of something and then give it to hubby, who will then flesh it out so good for me. Because I already have like I guess I have a very funny name for VTubing. Villainous Egg. It's probably a mouthful. My handwriting is always very jank. Like, my handwriting has always been the funniest thing. It's like, hold on. This is my handwriting in general. It's so scuffy. But I guess this is me writing like in a very rushed manner, which is how I've always written. If I actually like it's not the best. It's not the best in my opinion. I think if I like actually took more time to rewrite that now. Okay. Okay, here's my handwriting. This is back and front. The first one being a bit more rushed. This latter, if I probably slow down my pacing. Because I don't know how to calm down with my handwriting. It's just always like... Okay, that's the correction. I was going back in. Yeah, you can see that. You can see my cursor. Oh, agony effect. Handwriting aside. Let me put that somewhere else on this canvas. Actually, wait. Hey, hubby?
Yeah.
Are you busy today?
I don't have to be.
Do you want to, like, kind of co-stream with me and we just... I'm drawing, workshop stuff.
Sure. I can just hop in if you want. I
Yeah.
don't really have much to say.
No, I'm gonna be just looking at VTuber stuff and designs, and you can have your little Fuji in here too.
Sure. Where do I want to pop in?
Live. Let me also just get your Fuji here.
I'll be...
Oh, you can join. Alright, I have you muted there, but it's okay.
It's fine. I'm muted here.
Yeah, no. I got you. Smush is busy today? What's Smush? But yeah, no. Pip, my love. I'm taking a look at, like, different VTuber logos. And trying to, like, figure out if I can make a mock-up for the potential of the new one. And then Yuzu's immediately calling you uncle. But technically you're their father! As a chat father!
Uncle Grandpa.
No! Oh, let me just do this. Here. Give you a better form a little bit. I can make you just a little bit bigger. Dr. Girlfriend. Hold on. I still need to watch that. Is the character Dr. Girlfriend? From is it Venture Bros?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I know Quack was talking about it a lot. So I don't remember. But yeah. Let's see. Key elements about my design. I'm trying to think. Because that's something I've noticed. I noticed and or noticing for most VTubers. Is that they have a lot of key elements for their logo. I'm also going to be throwing in here my old one just as a reference to and fro. Okay. It's all in here. It's a mess. Hold on. Let me just organize this. I could also just make the canvas a little bit larger. Edit. Canvas size. Alright, there we go. Larger canvas for nonsensical things. Alright, here is a lot of my old logos. I'm gonna just merge them all together. Why not? Okay. So some key things for the Egu at the moment of this year, the new idea. I still have my rounder glasses. The signature round glasses, round shades. I love these circular kind of glasses. They're just really nice. I am also going with a lot of positive and negative energy in terms of the idea that, I don't feel like it should be anything too secretive, but I am biracial. And I do like having my heritages combined in what it is growing up. So, being a dream creature, I do like to sleep a lot, and often during those dreams and sleeping, I have a lot of nightmares, but I also do have a lot of positive dreams, which is where the positive and negative will come in. With nightmares, in that regards, I had thought about horns, because at some point for my demon, when I used to be a demon VTuber, there was going to be horns growing out of my head at some point, but I think I only just wanted to stick with the one, because the biggest thing about the horn design was that one of the horns would be always forever broken, because not as just a nod to the being biracial, but the old concept idea was that the horns was going to be they were still a work in progress, but they were going to be two horns. I can't draw them for shit right now. One of them was going to be plated over with something golden and shiny, as opposed to the regular one. So I had then scrapped the idea of being a double at some point, went full on into dreams, and for the nightmare creatures, I think they will like resemble a bit more devilish, but with more of a leopard gecko idea going forward. So for the human formation of a nightmare, a very brief mock-up would be something akin to this. Having horns, very much similar, I guess, to Power from Chainsaw Man. Just being the pointed up, only in twos. Their length can be about here to growing further up. Their eyes forever donning negative, like certain sheeps, and their ears would be pointed. And then, along with their anatomy, they would feature then also a very large, fat tail. This would be the shape of a nightmare. The horns may be a bit more faded in color, as well as with their hands or their tail, but otherwise there are very much varieties that I was thinking. Avocado. Hi, not a cat. Welcome. I'm going over some design ideas in regards to new logos and whatever sketching that I just feel like doing. Explaining again how I used to think this was an old concept of what I was going to be for my 4.0 in design, and I decided to abandon that 4.0 design for more of a dream creature-esque. So I'm going over the ideas of what they look like if they were humanoid. So this would be this is a demon. The demons would probably be a little bit more the demon's idea would be then kind of reflected into a nightmare, rather. As a dream and being biracial, I do like the idea of always being taking one aspect of one some things. Because again, two cultures in one body, two geographical locations and whatnot. Homunculi. No, that's probably not the right word. But I guess for the VTubing sense, I would be a homunculi. So, for the concept of a nightmare, they would share a tail with a leopard gecko, being just very big in shape. Because I've just learned to love the shape of a leopard gecko. I'm also going to give this person this little thing. A regular sweater. That's like rolled up. Hey, honey? If you're gonna finish the water, could you refill it?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sassy.
Yes, the nightmare is a little sassy. Also, hi, Sunny. Hi, Sunny. Welcome. I'm doing a rare Saturday stream. I don't like to stream on Saturdays often because I want those Saturdays to be me days, but I didn't stream yesterday, so I'm pushed it to today. Welcome. I'm talking about certain designs that I'm thinking about for. I'm thinking about redoing the logo. I have to redo the logo, and I am just drawing up some clothes for my little naked nightmare here. Again, this would be the demon idea that I used to have for my VTuber, but I'm straying away from demon, devils, and so, and I'm more akin to a dream creature now. So, and also being biracial, I want to be a design that is unified of a nightmare and a dream. So, here would be the nightmare. They do have a little bit of features related to demons as just something that makes sense for me because, I don't know, something Halloween, gothic, whatever. But again, nightmares are something that is supposed to be horrifying and not the greatest. And in turn, I've also decided to incorporate ideas and elements of leopard geckos because I've learned to love them so very much, and I'm expecting to receive a leopard gecko near the end of the month or the beginning of the next month. We're making a lot of advancements in our home to get prepared for that. So, very, very cute. So this would be a nightmare creature. Now, for dream creatures, which is the other half, right, key elements for the nightmare is horns, fat tail, and negative eyes, or minus eyes. Okay, now for a dream, the positive aspect. I'm gonna lower this guy here so they're on a level. Arting is good. It's more now a discussion on my design idea philosophy for me. I hope you're doing well, Saru. I hope you didn't find yourself near the bathroom again too soon in the morning after the evening's adventure. No Freddy Krueger incidents. That is wonderful. I had a little bit of a dream escapade with me, the hubby, and two friends fighting off a werewolf, a vampire, and two aliens to retrieve our beloved leopard gecko pet. More on that later. It was a whole lot. It did have a very wholesome outcome. Alright. Now, this would be a dream creature here. Actually, I think for dream creature, I think nightmare and daymare would actually make sense. Alright. We're making lore together, my lads and chats. My lads, lasses, those in between, and chat in general. We're gonna have two species that'll be what I would be referring to the rest of chat for the most part, whatnot. So we're gonna have a nightmare and a daymare, not just a dream. Dream creatures are going to be the total sense. Can't write dream for some reason. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna be drawing them in both, like, just really big sweaters. Okay. I guess it does. But again, I think mare as the overall term would kind of be just fitting. Daymare and nightmare. I feel like that just sounds right. And the overall theme of them would be dream creatures. So they are dream creatures, which will be then a daymare and nightmare. Disregarding most lore, I guess. I would have to probably read up more about it, but this is just me going off of my feelings right now. So, yeah. So, the daymare would have more sheep-like ears. They'd have more furry-like ears, positive eyes, and a fluffy tail, or a fur tail, actually. Now, the fur tail, specifically, does not necessarily have to be sheep-like or floofy. It can be in terms of, like, what they would look like, what is it? If somebody were to have straight hair, the tail then would be of a straight hair pattern, versus somebody who'd have, like, a curlier hair pattern would have a curlier tail. They're a nightmare with red and black striped shirt and have claw-like gloves. Sorry, was right. That's Freddy Krueger you're just describing. Freddy Krueger's their own thing. But yes. Negative eyes. Short, pointed ears. They would have no horns of any kind. Let me see. Hairy tail. Hairy or fluffy. Positive eyes. And sheep-like ears. This would be the overall concept. Trying to figure out one more thing I wanted to see or think about. Their colors don't really matter too much as well. I think for nightmares, they could come with the tails are flesh in color, so there would not be any hair. The only thing that I guess would be another additional is they could have for their hands, horns, tail, and other parts of their body. Oh no, the negative and positive is mostly what it is. There would not be any division or multiplication added. It is just mainly based off of a nightmare and a regular dream, I would say. One and the other. Because if I started thinking about more designs, I'd have more than 2 mascots, and I don't want to have more than 2 mascots. I'm already stretching it by having 2 mascots. Most people just have 1. But yes. Let's see. Hands, horns, tail, and parts of the body could have, and body. Would have extra pigmentation or patterns. The patterns could be spots, stripes, or whatever shape comes to mind. Freckles even, which I'm gonna write down. Freckle, etc. Yeah. Naming scheme is hard. I'm hearing the ideas and feedbacks as well. And I'm not going to debunk them. I think sometimes I'll just have to like sit down and think a little bit harder on some of these. Or have it fit with whatever I am going for. Because, again, I'm putting a lot more thought into this than I feel like I should. But I also think just making this be the boundary of design also can just be so and so. Maybe also write down Daymare better. Daymare. Nightmare. Can't write the air correctly. There we go. Fur coat, not coats, fur style matches hair, curly, wavy, straight. Fur can also have more than just one tone of color, if needed necessary. Alright. Yeah, this would be overall the written aspect of what I would say is the breakdown for dream creatures as one or the other. And then there's me. Because, again, I mentioned about being biracial, this is why I wanted to make two mascots in terms of being one and the other. So I have a mascot that is entirely designed regarding nightmares, and then another one around the daymare. That being, where did I post them? Or I'm gonna bring them up again later soon. I'm gonna bring them up here. Nope, not here. Not that one. Let me see where I put it. Here it is. This would be the smaller variation of the daymare and the nightmare as quote-unquote marketable plushies. At least these two would be mine. Here's an example of how the designs work as, again, quote, marketable plushie-esque sort. The examples here being Cryoshell and Axolotl Axolotl. Ignore Chibi. We're going to ignore Chibi for now. Take them over here. There we go, just do this. Flip them around immediately. The ear shape, yeah. So, this would be what they look like in a more humanoid form. This is what they are broken down to, with the respective design, depending on the person, with their attributes. Axolotl, Lotl, she is more of a axolotl themed creature. So taking her features and translating it into a fluffy creature for a daymare was something that I had to consider for that. And Cryos is more of a mechanical creature, and translating his mechanical parts and other workarounds would be what he looks like here for a nightmare. If I were to draw them as the species in a more humanoid sense, I think I would be drawing them... yeah, there it is. New layer. Drawing a robot man as a humanoid is going to be very funny, I think. Hi, Ruka. I'm going to be breaking a little bit of drawing rules today. Breaking some rules, calling it an art style. Done. I can't imagine. I've never drawn Cryos with hair before. If I did, I'm gonna give him a bowl cut. Me eating the cookies. Wait, do you think this is me? I'm drawing Axolotl as a humanoid daymare. No, it's like egg, why a bowl? Because I drew Cryos with a bowl cut for the funnies. My handwriting sucks, I know. If I were to quickly give them a color scheme. Alright. It is a big irony. It is one of the biggest ironies I've noticed since high school, and it just makes me go, ugh. This would be an example of how they would look like as a daymare and a nightmare, not only in the marketable plushie form, which is above here, but then also as a humanoid form, but very crudely done. The tail is probably like more depending on the person. I don't have them here to confirm whether or not this is what they would want to look like as a humanoid, because I don't have a proper humanoid reference for either of them, especially for their hairstyles. But this would be an example of how I would imagine them being one or the other. Now the tail, for at least the humanoid for a nightmare, it would often be flesh color, but again, there would be, there would be a pattern going alongside. That pattern can not only just be restricted to the tail, but it can go along the body to match. So it could be kind of like dinosaur rules, I guess, or certain patterns, where if you would have the side view now, oh, I forgot that's locked, a side view with the ear here, body, mainly the torso, cross out the arms because I'm not drawing the arm on the side view. the pattern would be then from the very top of the crown going down to the side. Sometimes would meet the shoulder or just past it and then going over the tail. So as I'm going to shade this area here, this is where the patterns would be most prominent, but it does not necessarily have to be in that straight line. It can also just be, if I erase this enough, it can also just be restricted to these two zones. So you have a pattern somewhere here and on the horn. And again, the horn and the tail are the most important. The optional ones would be the back, shoulders, and legs for more patterns. That could be anything from splotches, freckles, or unique patterns that could be an attribute to the person. Again, like Cryos is just not one example of being a tech priest sort of creature. So I always imagine him the most mechanical for the most instance, being with this artwork that I'm going to showcase here as an example. How I normally imagine Cryos would be very mechanical in nature, but then for a humanoid design, this is what my brain comes up with an added bowl cut because I want to bully him just a little bit. Now, for freckles as well, Lottle does have freckles, so I do make sure to keep that on both where it can be. The freckles are not always something... The freckles can be shared, because again, people have many different features. Freckles, moles, beauty spots, scarring as well. Now that would be the division of the two, daymares and nightmares. Now where my design comes in that, being me, I am a combination of both, as a full-on dream creature. Villainous like your future dream creature to be. So, to mix and match, in the way that I do, I have for myself marked in red one horn, mostly animal-like ears, one eye from each. The majority of the tail is axolotl shape, but it does have a fur at the end. So these are like the three most prominent features that I am taking from both of the designs to make the monstrosity that I am. Not even a monstrosity. Dream creature. So that is what Egu is supposed to be in combined of both. That is my outline, highlight, my personal design philosophy for me, for my future VTubing. And that is the features I want to now take into account when thinking about a logo. It took me an hour and 30 minutes to figure that out, or to convey that kind of messaging, I think. And I'm just looking at various different VTube logos, not pulling any logo that I see, because a lot of these are just some things that I just googled, and I don't want to just put it here on stream, especially if I'm not familiar, because I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not the best with that philosophy for logo making. These were made by my husband. These logos here are my old logos made by my husband, which we will be reworking and trying to go forward with some new ideas. And I'm trying to think of the best things to try and make a mock-up so that I can actually have a good vision. And that's what is the brain happening. All my logos are messy. No, all my canvas is messy. I'm gonna quickly copy paste these, send them to Cryos and Noddle. I feel like they might get a hoot out of it. Yeah. Being silly. Logo making is so hard. People are so good at this. I'm not bad at this. But my god.
What is it?
Trampoline! Trampoline!
Hi, Box. How are you? Thank you for the hydrate and posture check. I'm sitting upright. And got my dose of hydration. How are you doing on the wonderful Saturday? Any big plans? Weekend doings? Relaxing? Ooh, what kind of gaming? The shooty kind? The tabletop kind? Destiny 2. Still never played it. I don't think I personally will, but I do hope you have a wonderful time playing. I hope your friends return swiftly enough that you can enjoy it. And if lurking is what you will be doing, then lurk away. I'm here trying to figure out how... making logos work. Because all I can think about right now is the main elements of my design that I'm doing for me. Mock-ups of what the designs look like, as an example of two friends. Me, my old logo, whatever my new logo will be. A straight line, maybe. I need new stamps and such. That is a lot of hours. 3,706.7 hours. Damn, you really love gaming. I don't think I've achieved that just yet on Steam, but I might. It's either going to be between Final Fantasy 14, because I am slowly getting into... I'm slowly doing my games where I'll be reaching those ungodly hours eventually. At least for Final... Okay. I played Final Fantasy 7... No, not 7. Final Fantasy 14 strictly on my console for the longest time before switching over to PC for one of the latest... not the latest, but a recenter expansion. So, I played Final Fantasy 14 a lot beforehand, and then I got it on PC, to which I've... On PC, according to Steam, I've accounted 1,941.5 hours. That's not counting how many hours I've played on my console, on my PS4, or... yeah. Still, a lot of hours. We love our games. Hubby,
Yeah.
I need help figure out how to make a logo. Figure shit out. I just spent like an hour and a half making a design philosophy for the dream creatures.
Can see.
Yes, if you, yeah. Here's the dream creatures in total. So they're divided into a daymare and a nightmare, and I've just highlighted with the red here the elements that I take from them.
Right.
Yeah. So one horn, one eye each, their ear from the one. Tail is a combination of both. Also, here is Kryos and Lottle as them both, and I gave him a bowl cut.
Why a bowl?
Why a bowl? Egg, why a bowl? Egg, why a bowl? And they're all just chuckling. So, now, I'm figuring that these are one of like the most prominent features. The plus, the minus, my glasses maybe, one horn, an axolotl tail, a fluffy end of the tail, and then I'm like, I don't know, I've been struggling. I don't know how making a logo works. I can't draw free-handedly once. I've been staring at mock-up VTuber logo examples and here for like the past half hour.
Honestly, the type treatment isn't really a bad idea. Kind of like that.
Yeah, I was thinking the eyes would the dotted eyes would be, one of them would be a plus, the other would be a minus. Maybe.
Sorry, I was just looking at the drawing above that.
Oh, this little one here?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. I was thinking about that one being in the About Me section where it's just an intro to Egg. The intro to Egg, so this would be the drawing, and then right next to it, floating above, would be the logo with the About Me section. A quick introduction. And then I typed this out, or not typed, I drew this?
But yeah, I kind of like the type treatment.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but now I don't know how to illustrate more to say the logo is. You know? Because I do like this one, but I'm no longer a demon.
Well, other than just elements of your character, what other sort of motifs does your character have?
I have 5 different main colors. I'm going to open up,
Okay.
I'm gonna open up the other one real quick here.
But I meant like symbols that your character uses, or like aesthetics, a setting that you typically have them in. Things like that.
Still having to figure it out, but I do think I am very much, the Dreamtorium is what I kind of described earlier. I'd have to draw it a little bit out here. I'm gonna just minimize
I
all
mean,
that.
things like clouds, or what other motifs does your character, other than the ones that like are immediately apparent looking at her?
I do also have the signature V in a pendant. Sometimes I like wearing lace. I think wearing lace, sometimes a bow,
Okay.
but not, the bows are never always the
Write
most
these
common.
down.
Let me see. Yeah. Can't really incorporate a corset.
Could.
Can we?
In logo design, there's never a can we, it's a how do we.
Okay. Yeah. There's always a few chains strewn about. Okay. Right.
So if we want to incorporate a corset-like design, I can try and figure something out.
Could be an idea. So I have plus and minus. Villainous pendant.
Alright.
Red glasses.
Honestly, I would count your hair.
I could.
But I'm talking about like just throwing spaghetti at the wall, so literally anything. That counts as like something not only unique to your character, but basically if you were to put them like these objects on a mood board and they're not part of your actual character.
Yeah.
Like nothing that would appear on your person. If you were to put these objects on a mood board, you'd say, oh, that's Villainous Egg's character.
What about time sands? Because usually there's always time sands for sleeping. An hourglass sand specific.
Yeah.
Hourglass. I'm also very drawn to the ocean. Ocean sky, take me ever so high. I'm thinking for the dream, I'm gonna be drawing this like really mock-up right now.
Like, we should definitely include motifs from your character. However, we should also try and just get a general vibe.
I realize the way that I'm going to be drawing this is going to look like a mushroom. Because it's like expanded outwards to be very dome-like.
What is?
Hmm?
What is?
This would be, I guess, the mock-up of the dreamscape. The tower. Surrounded by water. Because I used to grow up a lot by the water. So hearing the waves is very nostalgic for me. Also, the biggest reason I think I love Kingdom Hearts because of a lot of their water motifs. Maybe a bit hexagonal. And then this would be like clear glass to stare out to see the stars. Hanging would be casual chains about various objects, various dreams that get caught through the wind and waves.
A little bit here. I'm gonna take a trash bag and go.
Alright. Thank you for the idea.
Just what I'd say is just make a list of anything even remotely connected to your character.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll figure out from there. That is typically how logo design is done, is you just throw spaghetti at the wall in like a big bulletin, and then you look at all the pieces and like sort of narrow things down to what exactly you want.
Okay.
And then once we know like what exactly we want in it, then we can try and design something for it.
Oh, yeah. My little dreamscape tower surrounded by water constantly. Thank you. Wait, what was under 48%? Your game time box? Ah. Still a lot. Still a lot of hours that you showed me. No, I feel that. I'm not here to shame anyone's addiction to games. You enjoy your games. You bought it, you earned it. You deserve to play as many hours as you need and want. Hi, Nico. Well, I'll hydrate. Also, no, not more gambling ads. I hope you've returned from the ad break, though. I've been coloring and not blending. But I've been blending and not coloring. Okay, but I am glad to hear that you are back from the ad hell. Welcome, welcome. Pip has given me a bit of guidance and such for making a logo, so the egg is currently drawing some elements that I feel would make a lot of sense for the long run, but I've just been making designs for VTubing purposes. Yeah. So, I have here now the egg, Dreamscape. It's an isolated tower, shaped like a mushroom, because there is a dome, in the middle of an ocean. And I'm currently drawing the sky, which is a bit of a purplish reddish. It is perpetually dark a lot of the time. Very rarely, I would say, the sun ever comes out. Yeah, I guess this would be the Dreamscape. Surrounded by purple seas, a pinkish red sky, reddish purplish sky, constellations and stars. I think we're gonna change the color of those constellated stars though. There we go, a little bit more brighter. Alright, I drew on 2 layers. I'm gonna combine these. It is unironically shaped like a mushroom. I'm sitting up, don't worry, Sonny! I'm only leaning forward a little bit. I don't think what color I would want to make it. Otherwise it would just be a very faint color like so. Yeah, but yeah, no. I think this would be my dreamatorium. My dreamscape. I'm not shrimping. I promise, I'm sitting up. I'm just a little grumpy because I've been sitting thinking about how to design thing and I haven't thought to ask hubby earlier. But I think we got some elements now that I'd want to say and or include. I think in more of the designs here, hanging over here would be more hourglasses. Wait, what is edible? The shrimp with my face on it? I do know that there are probably some emotes that are about shrimping. Otherwise, I think if I had to draw a shrimp specific, hold on. I haven't thought about that, if I would want the hourglasses to be edible. Because the way that they are, the way that I have the dreamscape set up, and there is no door. It is just a construct of a building with no appropriate way inside. Surrounded by ocean that I have neither decided would be shallow or deep. It would be very crunchy glass, most likely. It is definitely a room with no doors. Because this is where dreams are forever occurring. With the sky to view. People sleep here. Or they can astral project here, I guess. It's a room, it's a structure, no door. The only way to really look outside would be up here, as that is the glass dome. It's just mainly red because I like the color red. Red, gold, and gray, but mostly black. As my favorite color schemes, with a hint of white somewhere. I haven't decided yet. I guess the sands would be white in the hourglasses. And the idea is that here, this main area here is see-through, as it is a window. A thick glass with no proper opening. Forever able to see the stars, but never able to go beyond it. This is where I am stuck. This is where I reside. I am in here. I had a dream about this area actually, and I would kind of just call it the wizard, like it would be Wizard's Tower equivalent. I had to draw it really quickly in an isometric view, so to say. Not drawing this to a proper scale. That a starfish. Wait, from Finding Nemo? Is her name Peach? Huh. Never knew that. The more you know. No. You all don't necessarily, you guys are not outside. I would say that you guys would be inside still. But it's only when I'm streaming that you guys appear here. Sorry, I'm listening to the music and that sounded very, very familiar. Dream beam into the bubble, right? Yes. I think maybe with the hourglass it could help into a sort... Oh, ooh. I think maybe instead of soul coins, I just have to change. It would be hourglasses. Everyone has an hourglass that represents them. I don't know how I'm gonna be laying out the room. I'd have to take time to figure out the proper room layout, but there would be stairs that go down here into the cellar basement to a unknown room down below. What is down below? I don't know yet. This area is still under maintenance. Everything's under maintenance. Construction, it's all a work in progress. But at the very least, all of this is still a work in progress and nothing has been confirmed truly yet. I'm still working out all the ideas. But I guess the hourglass could be a representation of the viewer, you guys, and you're watching of me here. And of course, your names would be both on these templates here, up and above, as they will be something that will be continuously rotating. Yeah. So, there would probably be a room somewhere to which everybody would be represented through here. Every time I hit the start streaming button, you all fall asleep, and we are all collectively hallucinating. I'm wondering if that is the joke, or if there's a punchline that I'm still waiting for. Because I'm sorry, Nico, if I'm not understanding your joke. But damn, it is nice to see you again. How are you, friend? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I've definitely been up and down busy with things. I have to get furniture all sorted and organized because we're getting more furniture in our apartment. Yay! We had fun with special drinks last night in my server. I've been playing very many video games. And today, doing some sketching, much needed in concept. We're talking about the room. Hey, hubby,
Yeah.
come see the dreamscape.
Oh! I love it.
So this is the dreamscape, where we all collectively hang out, I guess. And maybe everyone could be represented by hourglasses initially. And upon the hourglass is basically your confirmed connection to the dreamscape. With this hourglass, you are able to pick a form between one of the two dream creatures, the daymare or the nightmare. Do you want a fat tail or do you want a fluffy tail? Also, Nico says hi from the chat. Yeah, I also got to work on the design elements for the dream creatures, which is also where I share a lot of my common elements with being both. I am a mixture of both the dream creatures. People who do join do get a choice of one or the other, and I did try to write down some key factors of what they look like as a humanoid, and then here is a simplified version of Cryos and his wife Lottle as dream creatures, both being marketable plushy form and as humanoids, where I gave Cryos a bowl cut. Here's me crying because I can't figure out how to draw a logo. Hubby does like this type of typeface I draw by hand, where everything would be capitalized except for the eyes. The eyes would not be capitalized, and I've been just drawing different little features of what key elements I have for my design. On person, plus minus, my pendant being the V for Velen Passaic, and red glasses. Aside from that, I'm writing down a bunch of different elements that I think I would want for the logo, because I need to get a logo. Which is when I started drawing the dreamscape with its room and the hourglass. I think down below would be my living quarters, actually, maybe. Down below would be mostly my living quarters, and up above would be the recreational. So I'm gonna not erase that, actually. I'm gonna just move that. Okay. Hey, hubby. Come over here. Okay. So, I had thought about this for the dreamscape. So up above would be the hangout area. This is where I guess I'd be going live a lot. And also then hanging out in the Discord server. Going down the stairs would be my more private quarters. Or our private quarters, because you live with me. I live with you.
I represent that differently.
Kitchen and whatnot. And then there'd be a long set of stairs to come in where we'd have the casual couching, TV time, general cooking area, kitchen. Of course, it can only get bigger, I think, with this idea. I also think from the side angle, there are 2 layers to this. So this would be an architectural nightmare.
But there are no rules of architecture for a castle in the clouds.
I think for the sake of like some sort of privacy, this entire space is the rooms or the floor itself. And they do have like sectioned off with like doorways into one another, because then this would be a literal glass ceiling for the dome as it amplifies the stars looking in. So this would be all the walls. And we would have triangular windows as opposed to like the rest of
Yeah.
the city.
Cool. That's awesome.
And our personal living quarters would be under the dream ocean, where I don't want to talk about yet what is residing in that dream ocean yet. But I guess the hourglasses that hang outside are the connection are all the accumulated hourglasses of the followers and people within the chat. Yep.
Cool.
Agu's doing something. I'm very sorry again to whoever is looking at this and thinking it's an architectural nightmare. But I think this is a decent step forward in terms of what I want for designs and whatnot. Okay. I'm done with this concept for now. I think it's time to give my husband a proper shape, actually, instead of the old one. You wanted to be a nightmare, yeah? Do you have any patterns or anything in mind that you liked and wanted?
Honestly, I think the only motif I always have, which you've already captured, is the wax look. I always have that in my designs.
Tired fucking eyes.
I hate tired eyes.
Yeah. But like, also, would you like freckles? Would you like gecko stripes?
I'll leave that to you, which is creative. I don't know what kind of motifs I have. I've never had them.
How about ombre? Like, your horns would be darker, your fingers also could be
Yeah,
darker.
there we go. I like that.
Yeah. Tail would also be darker.
How about some kind of triangle in there somewhere?
Ooh, I could just give you triangles on your horns and tail. Do you have a color in mind?
Not really. I will say my favorite color is burgundy, but I was thinking that's usually the colors.
Hubby's hair grew a lot. No, that's a panic jawline. Shit, never mind. The beard is great. Hubby has a beard. Hey, hubby. Hey, hubby.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Ah! Ah! I love it. One on the right looks like me at work.
This one here?
Yeah.
Eh, it doesn't have rich day at the work.
I've been drinking a lot of coffee lately.
Oof.
It works.
Like, I get it. Don't worry.
It's not something I drink at work. Work, it works. I love that. I love the colors. I don't.
Yeah, this is okay. So this is what you'd look like as a humanoid, I would say. The ombre then would fall under here with the horns, and so, yeah, for the woof. Sorry, I'm rocking my chair, but I think I'm gonna be calling it now for the stream, and ending it here with the design of what I made for the nightmares. Yeah, so. As a nightmare, because their tail is usually the same color as the flesh, unlike the daymares.
Mm-hmm.
The daymares would have their hair be similar to whatever's on their head, so they'd be according to the fluff. Like I'm gonna take Shuji as an example because Shuji is naturally a brunette blonde-ish person. But if they were to be under a fluffy, like the daymare, their hair as a humanoid might more be blue than their brunette-like.
All right.
Just so that the hair is translating into their daymare creature, whereas the nightmare creature, their color schemes is very reliant on their horns color and pattern. Like fun stuff. I'm tired. I'm going to take a break and just be humaning for a bit elsewhere. Probably have to wait until Nico's back from the ad. Yeah, no, it's a decent short stream, I feel. I'm a little bit tired, but I feel like I drew and was thinking a lot. I made a step in the right direction, I think. Oh my god. Stop shaking me. I love you too. I feel like I made the right step in the direction for more design elements in regards to my VTuber. Especially with the surroundings. Made a creature reference as an example now for my hubby. So, as you see him down here below, that's not longer what he's gonna look like anymore as soon as I can make an appropriate PNG for him. Which means I probably have to change my horn just a little bit to match the design. But not too much, honestly. My horn tends to be shorter than the rest, but this would be the appropriate length for most. Could be also different styles, maybe. Different styles of horns, but for the most part, they are just pointed upwards, I would say. Thinking is not permitted right now for me. I'm done. I'm gonna just end the stream, but thank you for people who were here. Brain slow. We're playing Monster Hunter later at my server. Join if you hunting.